Good morning. On my way to work, and I had a situation happen last night that I thought I'd share. As most of you know, this is Suicide Prevention Month. So basically, let's try and prevent suicides from happening. So paying attention to people and, really, because a lot of people, they don't know how to ask for help when they're in or thinking a very low spot in their life. Or they're thinking or, listening to these thoughts that are horrible thoughts that are lies. Anyways, so Suicide Prevention Month. My father, he took his life when I was 9. From 9 years old all the way until my 30s, I found all kinds of, whether it be men, drugs, alcohol, anything that made me feel good, to where I basically stuffed that trauma and couldn't work through it because I was numb. And so here in my, my 30s, all the way for the remaining process of my life, I'm working through, the grief process, because I was 9. I didn't grieve. I didn't know how to grieve. I mean, none of us knew how to even do anything. I mean, we literally were going through the motions, just, waking up, man, I mean, as a kid, you all kinds of different things to distract you. And, I think I talk about how I felt like a lot of people felt sorry for me after that happened, and so they became my friend because out of pity. But then, a couple years later, it seemed like there's, I didn't have no friends again in middle school, and so once again, it was like I was just trying to find something to where I didn't have the sadness and the abandonment and the loss. I just was trying to find anything and everything to not feel that pain, because, I mean, who wants to feel that kind of pain? So, in my adult years, thank God I've made it this far to be able to work through it and hopefully help somebody else. And so, I'm getting to the point, I really am. So last night, I went in, my normal lady, I get my pedicure and my nails filled, and she was telling me that she's leaving for Vietnam to go see her brother, and because he has cancer, and I could tell that she was upset. I could just tell she wears a mask, but I could tell on her eyes. And she said 3 weeks. She's going to be gone for 3 weeks. And she didn't tell me, but I can almost put my finger on it that they're preparing for his death and his funeral. Because she's been talking about his cancer for a while. So then I started telling her about, that loss is hard and it's all a process, but we know that, they're going to heaven, and that we'll be reunited one day. And that is what we hold on to when we lose somebody, is that we know that we're going to see him again. And that's like the only thing that gets you through the grief, is knowing and trusting that you get to see him again. And so then we started talking, and of course, if anybody knows me, they know I am very open about, you know, my life situations. And sorry, it's so shaky. If anybody knows me, they know about that I'm very honest. And so I just started talking with her, and we talked about my dad, and we talked about, and all of a sudden I'm crying, she's crying, nobody else is in there, it's just us, and she goes, I said, I'm sorry, and I started crying and laughing. I said, you know, I don't know, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. You know, here I am trying to help somebody else, and then all of a sudden I'm flooded with grief. I mean, you just don't know when it's going to happen. And and time it proves to me that all of this is a process, and that we are not just going to, people don't just die and it's over. You know, that's just not the way it is. And for us that are still living, it's important for us to work through it, so that we, you know, we become, you know, better people, and we grow. And I mean, nobody wants to walk around and feel depressed the rest of their life while they're here living. I mean, there's reason that it's called living, because we're alive, breathing, and we're supposed to live, like, not mope. And believe me, I know about that, because I, you know, basically walked around for 20 years trying to kill myself. I mean, that's figuratively and literally. So I was just saying that, you know, you never know when the process, or what, you never know when it's going to creep up on you. And I think for me, it's important to let it out, and not really be embarrassed. I mean, I was like, man, you know, we all have feelings, and we all have emotions, and when we're vulnerable to letting other people know, I think it helps the world. It helps everybody out here, because we become more empathetic and compassionate for other people. And there's so many people that walk around here that are angry or mad, or you know, very sad, or their hearts are hard, and that's not the way to live, you know? I mean, we should be open to helping other people, and letting them know that they're not alone in this. We all have a story, and we all have things that we've gone through, and to share it is helpful to the individual, and it's helpful for the person. And maybe, and it might even be that they don't even let you know how helpful it is, and maybe they don't even know how helpful it is until, you know, they go through, and the hope is they'll do the same thing for somebody else when that time comes, which is share their experience and how they got through it, and that the other person too can do the same thing and get through it. Sorry, it's very shaky. Driving on the shaky road. Okay, I won't make you shake anymore. Have a fantastic day. Look, I've got red, white, and blue on. It was not planned. But, okay.